What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah. What's good? This is your boy Tone DeShields the second. You feel me? Make sure you guys smash that like button. You guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Super grateful to be here in their presence, and you guys know what to do. You know what your job is. Get comfortable, kick your feet up. You feel me? I'm so grateful, you guys. Grateful to be alive. Grateful for my health. Grateful to be in the presence of you. I can't wait to talk to you guys about this Eagles schedule, man. Can't wait. I wanted to talk to you guys about it yesterday, but a lot of your attention was being diverted. There was a lot going on yesterday, and I wanted to make sure I was able to just sit and talk with my people. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure I dog walk this thing. I don't want to rush through it. I want to make sure I touch base with y'all and also pick y'all brains about how y'all feel about the schedule. So, we're not going to waste any time. But once again, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Means a lot to me. Goes a long way. And also, make sure you guys take advantage of that SeatGeek promo code. All you got to do is download the SeatGeek app. You'll be able to use that promo code Chalk It Up Sports, and you'll get $20 off. $20 off your first SeatGeek order. If you like going to live events, if you like going to concerts, if you like going to basketball games, the playoffs is in full effect right now. If you like going to baseball games, it's baseball season. You know what I'm saying? If you guys like going to the hockey games, the hockey playoffs, the NHL playoffs is going on right now. If you guys like going to soccer games, right? Make sure you guys, the WNBA is kicking off. So make sure you guys go lock in with that promo code that SeatGeek is offering you guys. Chalk It Up Sports is the promo code. You get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. And make sure you guys take advantage of that. All right. Now, like I said, let's not waste no time. Let's get right to it. Let's take a look at this schedule here. All right. Here we have it. There we have it. So here is our schedule for the 2025 season. Your Philadelphia Eagles schedule. Now, I do have several thoughts about this schedule. And, before the schedule was fully released yesterday, and, obviously there's always leaks that go on. But we talked about the Dallas game. We talked about the Green Bay game on Monday night. We talked about the Bears. We discussed the Commanders in Week 16. But I do have some thoughts. I do have some thoughts about this schedule that That doesn't really sit right with me. Doesn't really sit right with me. And where do I begin? Where do I begin? Okay, first and foremost, you look at the schedule, and the number one thing that stands out to me is the fact that the Eagles don't have any back-to-back home games. There's no home games back-to-back. The Eagles are going to be on the road every other week. The only time they'll probably be in the same city or be home for 2 weeks is week 8 and the week 9 bye week. That's the only reprieve they really have. Other than that, they have the Philadelphia Eagles on and off the road every other week. Home, away, home, away, home, away, home, away. It's not really looking like a favorable situation in terms of the travel. So it's going to require a ton of planning. It's going to require a ton of planning by Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. Scheduling and monitoring time is going to be ultra important for the Philadelphia Eagles. And even taking it a step further, not only do they not have any back-to-back home games, the Eagles are playing on every day except for Tuesday and Wednesday. They got a Thursday game. They got a Friday game. They got a Saturday game. They got a Monday game. They got Sunday games, obviously. I mean, the Eagles are playing on every day of the week except for Tuesday and Wednesday. Is this the price you pay for winning the Super Bowl? Is this the price you pay for winning the Is this the price you pay for being the best? Then I'll pay that tab. I'll pay that tab gladly. If this is the price of admission to an exclusive club, I'll pay that tab. I'll pay that tab. I take this as the ultimate sign of respect. When I think about this Eagle schedule, I say to myself, "Oh, y'all want us to kill some people. Y'all want us to slay some dragons." I think about this schedule and I say to myself, "Oh, Cowboys week 1, oh, you want us to embarrass them. Oh, Chiefs week 2 on the road, oh, you want them to get their get back, but it ain't gonna be that easy. Oh, Rams week 3, you want them to get their get back. Try again. Oh, the Bucks week 4, y'all trying to set us up. And then the Broncos week 5, I'm looking forward to that matchup as well. That's gonna be a home game. You know, I think Bo Nix is a very good young quarterback. I'm curious to see what year 2 looks like for him. I think the Broncos are coming on the come up, especially under Sean Payton's leadership. But I look at this schedule and I feel like the NFL is trying to intimidate us. I think they're trying to intimidate us. But you got to try a little harder than that. You got to try a little harder than that. The biggest gift is the fact that the Cowboys got to come to Philly week 1 and they get to see that banner drop and they get to see what winners do. That fan base ain't seen the light of day since 1995, 1996. They don't know what a trophy looked like. They don't know what a quality playoff win looks like. They don't know what a conference championship looks like. So we get to remind them that this is what it does look like. This is what success looks like. This is what competency looks like. When you're good at your job, this is what it looks like. So I'm actually excited about having the Cowboys week 1. The Chiefs, the league wants them to get back. You know, we got to go to Arrowhead. You know, we've won in Arrowhead before, so it's not an anomaly. It's not something we haven't done before. So nice try, NFL. Nice try. Honestly, they should have put the Chiefs week 1. That would have been more exciting, not the Cowboys. Just saying. And then the Rams. I've heard some people say, "Oh, if it wasn't snowing, the Rams would have smoked y'all." Would they know? Because there's this notion that weather only works one way. The weather works both ways. If the Rams would have benefited from the snow or benefited without the snow, the Eagles would have benefited without the snow. We smoked them without the snow. We smoked them in LA. We smoked them in dry heat. We rolled them up like a pack of za on their home turf. What makes people think the snow was a consolation for the Philadelphia Eagles? What makes the people think the snow benefited the Eagles? Both teams had to deal with that. Both teams had to play in it. I think it's so fascinating when I see people use that narrative. Oh, if it wouldn't have snowed, the Rams would have beat y'all. Do y'all think it only snows when we have the ball? People have a funny way of looking at things. When the Eagles smoked them without the snow in LA. The perfect weather, beautiful night sky. Saquon Barkley over 200 rushing yards, back-to-back games. I mean, light work like cheese. We honestly should have smoked y'all in that divisional round too. That should have been a smoke session. That should have been a cipher. We was up by double digits in the fourth quarter, but the weather made it easy for them. The weather made it harder for our defense. Let's call it what it is. When Saquon Barkley took it to the crib, that should have been the game. When Saquon Barkley took it to the crib in the divisional round, in the blizzard, smacking the helmet, that should have been the game. But the Rams benefited from the weather. Matthew Stafford threw like 2 or 3 turnover-worthy plays. We should have caught him. But the weather helped them. It helped them. Let's call it what it is. You can make an argument the weather helped them more than it helped us. It helped them more than it helped the Eagles. Let's call that what it is. Let's call it what it is. But I ain't gonna spend too time on the Rams. I think the Rams, that defense is getting better and better. But I think as much as I like Matthew Stafford's game, and actually, you know what they're trying to do too? Here's another thing too. They're trying to give us Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks when they're likely going to be at their healthiest. Maybe not their sharpest, but at their healthiest. They don't want us dealing with a battered and bruised Matthew Stafford because they know Matthew Stafford not going to last the whole season. They know Matthew Stafford going to miss at least 2 or 3 games this year. He's good for that. So they want to make sure we get a healthy Matthew Stafford. They want to make sure we get a healthy Chiefs team. They want to make sure we get a healthy Cowboys team. I ain't mad at it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Bucks game is interesting because, a lot of people believe the Bucks are the Eagles' kryptonite. A lot of people believe that. A lot of people think the Bucks are the Eagles' kryptonite, and I can understand why they think that. I can understand it. But ultimately, I like when we have them, honestly. I like it. I actually like when we got them. Because week 4, we got the Bucks on the road in Tampa Bay. I'll take those odds. I'll gladly take those odds. I think we played them week 4 last year, didn't we? We played them week 4 last season on the road. I think we get that back in blood. And a lot of people forget because it's easy to, but a lot of people forget. When we played the Bucks last year, no A.J. Brown, no Devontae Smith, no Lane Johnson. You know what I mean? I think some guys went down on defense. That offense, the offense was pretty decimated though. So I can't really look at the Bucks and say they really got our best shot, or we gave them the best punch. I can't really look at the Bucks and say they got our best punch. They were fortunate. I look at that Broncos game. That's a game that's intriguing to me. Broncos in Philadelphia. Bo Nix. He's another year wiser. He was a playoff team. You know, I look at these first few weeks, as a matter of fact. I look at these first few weeks, and I say to myself, the NFL was testing the Eagles early. They're testing them. 5 of 8 of the Eagles' first opponents, those first 8 weeks, 5 of them were playoff teams in 2024. I think that's something interesting to note. The first 8 games of the season, 5 of them, the Eagles face off against playoff teams. Obviously, the Cowboys and the Giants were not playoff teams. We know that. That's pretty to be expected. But the first 8 weeks, 5 of them are playoff teams. I think that's very interesting. The Broncos made the playoffs. They lost in the wild card round to the Buffalo Bills. The Bucks lost in the wild card round to the Commanders. Rams lost to us in the divisional. Chiefs got their ass smoked in the Super Bowl by the Eagles. The Vikings, they lost in the wild card round to the Rams. So, yeah, honestly, I look at these first few weeks and I say to myself, if the Eagles get through these first few weeks, I think they're golden. I think they're golden. Now, the challenge is the Eagles are going to have to start out real strong. Real strong. I think it goes for the front end of the schedule and the back end of the schedule. The front end and the back end. The first 5 weeks are 4 playoff teams. The first 4 weeks and the final 3 weeks could actually define the season. It actually could. Look at that real quick. Look at the first 4 weeks and the last 3 weeks. Those can define the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, right? Those first 4 weeks. Then the last 3 weeks, you got Commanders, Bills, Commanders. That can be a defining stretch for the Eagles. That's not going to be an easy stretch. It will be defining for sure. But this is the price you pay. This is the price you pay when you win the Super Bowl. This is the price you pay when you're one of the best. I also think this is the price you pay when you're spectacular at the tush push. I think the NFL is trying to send a message. All right. My man Alex with the super chat. He said Eagles playing the most playoff teams from the previous year, the most in NFL history with 10 or 11. Interesting. Is that a fact in terms of the most in NFL history? Is that a fact? Is that a fact? Thank you for the super chat, Alex. Actually, let's do the science on that. Let's do the science. So let's count the playoff teams we have here. We have Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Broncos, Vikings, Packers, Lions, Chargers, Commanders, Bills. That's 10 playoff teams you got to face. 10. Damn. They got the Eagles. Yo, I'm telling you, here's the thing. I'm telling you about this right now. I know some people look at the schedule and say, the NFL don't fuck with us, right? But here's the thing. The Eagles got to face 10 playoff teams from last year. 10. 10. And I'm telling you this right now. Don't let the Eagles run the table on this. Don't let the Eagles go 13-4 or some shit like that, or 14. Don't let them win these games. Because I don't want to hear nothing about, Jalen Hurts can't do, he's being carried and all this kind of stuff. Nah. I don't want to hear nothing about, y'all had the Eagles, y'all had an easy schedule. I don't want to hear none of that. Don't let the Eagles win 13 games this year. Don't let them win 14 games. This is a tough schedule. This is a tough schedule. I'm not going to lie about that. This is a tough schedule. This is the kind of schedule that will test you, that will challenge you, will have people wondering whether or not are you a playoff team this year. This whole schedule from beginning to end will let us know exactly who the Philadelphia Eagles are. You got to face 10 playoff teams from the previous season. 14 teams make the playoffs. 14 teams make the playoffs. They want us to run through the whole playoff gamut. And I ain't even mad at it. It's y'all funeral. My man, Relative Time Works with the super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. We got over 100 people on the live stream. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Chat, I really do appreciate the love. You guys are really phenomenal. You guys are vital to the success of this channel. So make sure you guys are smashing that like button. Make sure you guys are engaged. Time Works. He says, question number 1. How much of a disadvantage is our typically soft training camp for early season games? Question number 2. How long does it take for our pass rush to ramp up? If both end up positive, watch out. You know what's so interesting about it, right? I think, coming off of the 2022-2023 season, our training camp was solved. Coming off of that collapse in 2023, 2024, our offseason was actually pretty strenuous. Vic Fangio and Clint Hurt and all those guys, they had them boys active. So I'm willing to argue the previous offseason, the previous training camp was actually tougher than the 2022 one. Or 2023 one, I guess. But I also think the Eagles understand the situation. I think Nick Sirianni, I think Vic Fangio, Kevin Patullo, Jalen Hurts, I think they understand exactly what needs to be done. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the footage, but a lot of the guys are already in the building. A lot of the guys are already working out, staying in shape, getting on the football field, getting drills done. A lot of these guys are already in the building. Y'all know how Jalen Hurts goes. Jalen Hurts is a nut when it comes to football. He stays in the film room. He's constantly evaluating himself. I'm really curious to see what the next step is for Jalen Hurts, but that's a different conversation. But you said question number 2, how long does it take for the passers to ramp up? That's going to be interesting as well. Because although the Eagles didn't lead the league in sacks this year, I don't even think the Eagles were top 5 in sacks, as a matter of fact. Let me see if I got that right. I'm not even sure if the Eagles were top 10 in sacks. Let's see if I can find this out. The Eagles were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The Eagles were 15th in the league in sacks. The Eagles had 41 sacks. They were ranked 15th. Yet they still gave quarterbacks hell. So although sacks are fun, sacks are what we look for, sacks aren't the end-all be-all. And that Eagles defensive line really showed their weight in gold in the playoffs, right? But they got a ton of pressure. They defended the run pretty well. That defensive line did great things throughout the season. They did a good job allowing that defense to force turnovers. So although they were middle of the pack in sacks, they were able to get a ton of pressure, a ton of quarterback hits. They forced turnovers, especially in the final 6, 7, 8, 7 games of the year. They forced a lot of turnovers in those final, 5 weeks. First 5, they forced a lot of turnovers. So, It's interesting, actually, when I think about the pass rushers, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Azeez Ojulari, Jalen Hunt, Antoine Powell, Ryland, Moro, Jomo, Bryce Huff. You know, I think about these guys and I say to myself, they just got to get enough pressure. I don't think it's going to take that long for them to ramp up, though, for being honest. I don't think it's going to take that long for them to ramp up. Sweet Chin Music says our secondary really held it down too. That's a very, very good point. The secondary held it down tremendously. It was a hand in glove fit. It was a perfect marriage. It was a perfect marriage. The defensive line and the secondary did the perfect amount of work to get everybody in position. It was the perfect marriage, right? So, yeah, I look at the schedule. Another thing that stands out to me is that you have two separate, and try to follow me here. The Eagles have two separate 3-week stretches that include division games. If you look on the schedule, there are two separate 3-week stretches where the Eagles have to face a divisional opponent. Week 6 through week 8, the Eagles got to play the Giants, Vikings, then Giants. Then week 16 through 18, the Eagles got to play Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Commanders, Bills, Commanders. That's interesting to me. That's very interesting to me. And then after the bye week, you have 3 of those 4 weeks after the bye week are AFC or NFC North opponents. You got Green Bay, Detroit, Dallas, Chicago. Those final 3 weeks of the season are going to be very critical to seeding for the Philadelphia Eagles. I strongly believe that. I do think the Commanders will be a little better this year. But I also think we're going to find out a lot about who Jaden Daniels is. Jaden Daniels did have a strong rookie campaign, but we know stuff like that doesn't last too long. It doesn't last too long. Guys come back down to earth. The league catches up. We'll see how he adjusts. Because the league sure will. No one's above it. Everybody gets got. Eagle Goat says we rest week 18 and second half of the Bills game. I think that's a bit overzealous. That's a bit overzealous. Arkansas Eagle says, Tone, did you see CD and Parsons talking about Quinion? No, I didn't. But, you know, wolves don't concern themselves with sheep. Wolves don't concern themselves with sheep. So I really didn't see it, personally. I don't really care about it too much. I don't pay attention to guys that do more talking than playing. I don't pay attention to guys that can't get to a conference championship. Personally. Talk is cheap. S. Blunt, my OG, he said these young guys are going to need to grow up fast. We're facing the NFC North and the AFC West, which makes it competitive immediately. Plus, add in the NFC East, the Bills, the Bucks, which makes this a gauntlet. You're right. We're facing 2 of the toughest divisions in football. The AFC West is a pretty strong division. The NFC North is a strong division. And then you throw in Bills and Bucks into that. That's blunt. You nailed it. A lot of these rookies are going to have to grow up fast. Now, I will say this. You know, our second-year players, Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Hunt, guys like that, they've accumulated a ton of experience going on that Super Bowl run, their playoff run. They accumulated a ton of experience. So I look at Quinyon Mitchell, I look at Cooper DeJean, I look at Jalen Hunt, I look at the rookies as well. I look at Jihaad Campbell, Andrew McCuber, Ty Robinson, Smile Mondon, Antoine Powell-Ryland. I look at those guys. I look at even the year 3 guys. I look at Jalen Carter, Moro Jomo, Nolan Smith. I look at those guys, year 3 and younger. And I think the year 2 and year 3 guys have accumulated on this roster a ton of experience, a ton of valuable experience. And then the young guys, the rookies coming in, they're going to have to assimilate. They're going to have to really buy in. And it also helps that you have Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is somebody that will have these guys prepared. That's one thing we do know. These guys will be prepared. A lot of these guys are a year deeper into the Fangio system, so they're familiar with what they have to do. They're familiar with what they have to change and adjust. Fangio's going to add a few wrinkles, but I'm really confident in this defense going forward. I think this defense starts off much stronger than they did in 2024 earlier in the season. I think this 2025 defense starts off stronger than they did last year. Remember last year, the Eagles defense, they had to work out some kinks. They had to work out the rotation. Guys had to get healthy. The moment Cooper DeJean was inserted into the lineup, things shifted. The moment Fangio figured out that, hey, Bryce Huff can't get too many snaps, things began to shift. Right? This defense got stronger. And I think they're going to start off strong this year because they're a year deeper into the program. So, like you said, these young guys are going to have to grow up fast. But I trust Quinyon Mitchell. I trust Cooper DeJean. I trust Jalen Hunt. I trust Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. I trust Jordan Davis. I trust Jihaad Campbell, Andrew McCuber. I think these guys are in the perfect situation. Christian Parker, the DB coach, Christian Parker is going to make sure these guys are locked in. The entire defensive coaching staff came back this year. That's a big deal for this defense. That's a big deal for this defense. So, as much as we look at this schedule, as much as we look at the Eagles schedule and we say to ourselves, damn, they really pushing the Eagles to the limit. They really testing the Eagles. As much as we look at the schedule and we say, that's a little tough. I say, bring it on. You see, we look at the schedule and we say, oh, they trying to test us. But also, we testing them. We testing them. And I promise you, they better hope the Eagles flop. They better hope the Eagles crumble under this. They better hope. They better hope. As a matter of fact, now that I'm looking at the schedule, I'm looking at some of the quarterbacks the Eagles got to face. Now that I think about it, let's look at it from a quarterback perspective. Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott. Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes. Matthew Stafford. Baker Mayfield. Bo Nix. Russell Wilson. J.J. McCarthy. Jordan Love. Jared Goff. Caleb Williams. Justin Herbert. Jaden Daniels. Josh Allen. I don't want to hear nobody say Jalen Hurts don't beat good quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts don't beat good teams. All Jalen Hurts has done in his career is beat good teams. All he's done is beat good quarterbacks. You see, that's a problem for Dak Prescott. That's a problem for the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they can't beat good teams. They feast on teams below 500. But if you got a winning record, don't even worry about the Cowboys. Don't even worry about it. Don't even sweat them. But the Eagles, they beat good teams. Just saying. A-Track says nobody's talking about it, but the biggest concern is the offensive play calling. Hopefully Nick Sirianni is not calling plays. He sucks at it. Well, Kevin Patullo will be calling the plays, A-Track. That's that. But I think the Eagles did a lot of self-scouting, a lot of self-evaluation after the Brian Johnson situation. And although Kevin Patullo was getting his shot, I think there's a chance the Eagles hashed out some of the things that went wrong. That's what I think. I think the Eagles hashed out some of the things that did go wrong with their Brian Johnson situation. The problem was coming off of that 2022 playoff run, going into the 2023 season, the Eagles really didn't add any wrinkles to that offense. That was the problem. There was no new wrinkles. There was nothing fresh about it. It got stale. That was the problem. Then Kellen Moore comes in, adds a few more wrinkles, really adds into play action, RPO, leans into that run game, leans into the strength of the Eagles. I think Kevin Patullo has been here for a long time. Kevin Patullo has been here since 2021. People got to remember that. Kevin Patullo has been in the building for a long time. He's seen the good. He's seen the bad. He's seen the indifferent and the mediocre. He's seen it all with his team. He's studied Shane Steichen. He studied Brian Johnson. He studied Kellen Moore. I think Kevin Patullo is well equipped going into this season because he's seen the ebbs and flows. He's seen what works, what doesn't work. He's seen what it looks like when you don't adjust, when you don't add new wrinkles. He's seen that. He's seen what it takes to get to a Super Bowl twice. He's seen what it takes to win one. He's worked with Jalen Hurts for 4 years. For 4 years. Going into his 5th year working with him. I think Kevin Patullo is well equipped. He's well equipped going into this season with this offense. And you have 10 of 11 starters returning. This entire offense, they know Kevin. They know Kevin. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not as concerned about it as other people are. I understand if people do have concerns. Let me not act like I'm not aware or privy to it. If someone tells me they have concerns about the Eagles' play calling or the offensive coordinator going forward, I can understand why you have concerns about it. I understand it. I don't have to agree with you, but I understand it and I respect it. And 9 times out of 10, I won't really argue with you about it. I'll just state my position and we'll leave it at that. But I'm not too stressed about Kevin Patullo. I'm really not. Because he's seen it all with this team. He's seen it all. That's my position on Kevin. Let's see what we got here. My man Alex with another super chat. Thank you, Alex. He says they have to be worried about playing us too. Facts. Facts. They got to be worried about playing us too, bro. I'm tired of people acting skittish. Acting skittish. Now, don't get it twisted. It's a tough schedule. The Eagles are playing on every day of the week except for Tuesday and Wednesday. Eagles got Thursday game. The Eagles got 2 Thursday night games, 2 Monday night games. They got a Black Friday game. They got a Saturday game. They have no home games back to back. Some teams get 2 or 3 home games in a row. The Eagles have no home games back to back. This is the price you pay for greatness. You don't achieve greatness and things get easier. When you achieve greatness, things get more difficult. People want to challenge you. People want to take things from you when you achieve greatness. They want what you have. You know what people say? People say winning the title is the easy part. This goes for boxing, UFC. Fighters say winning the title, winning the belt is the easy part. Defending it, that's the difficulty. That's the challenge. Because everybody knows who they got to beat. Everybody is studying you. Everybody is watching you at your best. Everybody is trying to crack the code to your DNA. Everybody wants what you have. Everybody's seeing what it took for you to get there. They're studying your playbook. They're studying your tendencies. They're studying your habits. They're studying your strengths. They're studying your weaknesses. They're studying what you love. They're studying what you hate. It's the cost you pay. It's the cost to be the boss. Winning the chip is the easy part. Defending it, that's the challenge. That's the rub. Everybody not built for Cuban links. Everybody not built for it. Everybody can't survive in the 36 chambers. You feel what I'm saying? Like Alex said, they got to play us. They got to play us. They got to play us. We got 10 games or 10 opponents on this schedule that were playoff teams last year. Playoff teams. Yo. Come on, man. I take it as a sign of respect. I take it as a sign of endearment. Dankberg Gang 91, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. He says, I don't like the narrative that our defense took a huge step back. But as you said, we have guys in place who also played in last year's Super Bowl. Listen, with all due respect to Josh Sweat, with all due respect to Milton Williams, with all due respect to CJGJ, replaceable. Replaceable. In my honest opinion, the hardest person to replace is going to be Darius Slay. Because he's been an anchor on this defense for many years, like 4 or 5 years, something like that. He's been an anchor on this defense. He's been here for a while. Slay's been here for like 5 years, I think, something like that. Maybe 5 or 6 years. Between 4 to 6 years. I can't remember. I think Slay, that's the most difficult person to replace because he has been reliable on his side of the field. Now you're trusting Kelee Ringo to step in. You're depending on Kelee Ringo to step in and be the player you think he can be. That's going to be the challenge. Not having Darius Slay. Being able to trust Kelee Ringo with that responsibility. Now, Kelee Ringo is going to have to earn it. Kelee Ringo isn't just going to be given the cornerback 2 spot. He has to beat out Adoree Jackson. He has to beat out Eli Ricks. He has to beat out Mac McWilliams. He better hope the Eagles don't bring somebody else in. I like Kelee Ringo. I like the measurables. I like the traits. I like the athleticism. His technique has to improve if he's going to take that next step. If Vic Fangio, if Christian Parker, if Roy Anderson are going to be able to trust Kelee Ringo, he has to take the next step. I can want it for him all I want. But he got to go out there every rep, every snap, every down, every practice, every workout session, every film study session. He has to show that he is the guy. He deserves to be out there. He can be trusted. We don't question the athletic gifts. Some people question his technique. Some people question his discipline. Some people question the stiff hips. He's a young player still. Came into the league very young. He's younger than Quinyon Mitchell. I think Kelee Ringo can do it, but he has to prove it. Kelee Ringo has to prove it. So that's the real irreplaceable part, or that's the real challenge for the Eagles defense. I don't think losing Milton Williams and Josh Sweat, I'm sorry, no disrespect, I don't think that's going to be the worst challenge or the toughest hill to climb. Even losing CJ, no disrespect. Love what he did for the Eagles. He has value. But I don't think that's going to be the steepest hill to climb. Losing Darius Slay, that's going to be a steep hill. That's going to be a challenge. That's something I still have my modest concerns about. But Kelee Ringo, the ball's in your court, big dog. The ball's in your court. It's on him. It's on him. My man Alex with the super chat. Thank you once again, Alex. I appreciate you. He said Jalen Hurts is 8-0 versus the NFC North. Bro, 8-0. He beats the Vikings routinely. He's beaten Detroit. I mean, on more than one occasion. He's beaten the Bears. He's beaten the Packers. When he's been the starter, he hasn't lost to those teams. He hasn't. He's only played the Chargers once in his career, and it came down to a nail biter. He didn't lose the game. The defense lost the game. He didn't lose the game. Defense did. He's only played the Chargers once. He's only played Herbert once. He's only played the Bills once. Buffalo. He's beat Josh Allen. In a instant classic, by the way. An instant classic. A game that we all watched and thought we were cooked. Started off the game slow. Was down by double digits. Jalen Hurts willed that team back to the front line. Won that game in overtime. A torrential rainstorm. Kelly Green jerseys. Instant classic. Jalen Hurts won that game. Linda Washington. What's good, sister? I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you for the support. Thank you. I appreciate you. My man War. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you for being here nonetheless. I appreciate you for being here, bro. Let's see. Let's see where we are, man. You know, again, I look at the schedule. Bringing it back on screen here. You know, I will say this, the bye week is perfectly placed. I think that bye week is perfectly placed. You have 8 games prior to your bye week, and you have 9 games after the bye week. I think that's a perfect spot. Perfect. I actually like that 3-game stretch going into the bye week. If you look at that 3-game stretch, right? I think that's pretty solid going into the bye week. You got Giants, Vikings, Giants. Giants, Vikings, Giants going into the bye week. And then coming out of it, you got Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Bears, Chargers. That's a tough stretch. The tough stretches of the season are probably week 2 to week 5 and week 10 to week 14. That's a tough stretch. But week 16 to week 18, I think that 3-game window, Commanders, Bills, Commanders, that's going to be a defining stretch. That's going to define the seeding for us. And guess what, you guys? Your Philadelphia Eagles have proven, this Eagles team has proven, we don't need a bye week in the playoffs. We get busy no matter what. Wild card win. Body. Pad to pack the Packers up. Divisional round, Rams. Body. NFC Championship, Commanders. Body. Super Bowl, Chiefs. Body. We don't need the bye week. We don't need that bye week. We'll gladly go into the playoffs with momentum. Gladly. We'll take that. We don't need the playoff bye week. The Detroit Lions have clearly showed it's a trap. The Detroit Lions have clearly showed it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. I don't want it. Detroit can have that if they even get it this year. LJ says we win 12 games minimum. Yeah, I can roll with that. I can roll with that. Because I think last year I had the Eagles going. I think I had the Eagles going 13-4 at best and 11-6 at worst. Or was it 12-5 at worst and 14-3 at best? I think it was 13-4 at best, I think. But I think, and again, I don't have any win-loss predictions for you right now. We're going to do that at another time. I don't have any predictions yet. I have to really sit with this schedule. But when I look at it, you know, tough matchups, tough opponents, but we've beaten a lot of these teams. We've beaten them once, we could beat them again. We've beaten the Packers twice. We beat the Rams twice. We swept the Cowboys. We swept the Giants. We've beaten the Commanders 2 out of 3 times last year. We've beaten the Bills before. We've beaten the Broncos before. We've beaten the Bucs before. We've beaten the Vikings. We haven't played the Raiders in a long time. And we ain't played the Chargers since 2021. So, but again, I think the Eagles can definitely win 13 games. I think 13 games with this schedule would be a astronomical success. Astronomical success. But overall, ain't nobody tripping. Ain't nobody sweating it at all. I just think it's funny that people think that the Eagles are just going to come in here and sleepwalk. This is a different team. This team got a taste of it now. This team knows what winning looks like. This team knows what success looks like. They ready to do it again. They ready to prove that they one of them ones. They ready to prove they one of them ones. And look, these are going to be close games. A lot of these games are going to be one-possession games. And I'm cool with that. Like Function said, everybody food. Everybody food. But be prepared, Philadelphia. Be prepared. We're going to see a lot of one-possession games. And I'm totally okay with that because that carries over into the playoffs. It carries over. You know how to maneuver. This Eagles team was battle-tested. So I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping at all. Look, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for locking in on the content. Thank you guys for supporting the show. You guys have been phenomenal. Thank you for super chats. You guys have been great as well. Also, make sure you guys take advantage of that SeatGeek promo code I got for you guys. I've partnered with the SeatGeek app, and you can use SeatGeek for all your ticketing services to all your live events. If you like comedy shows, if you like concerts, If you like sporting events, you know, it's baseball season. The NBA and the NHL playoffs are in full effect. The WNBA season is back, right? It's concert season. If you guys want to take advantage of this promo code via SeatGeek, make sure you guys use the Chalk It Up Sports promo code. Download the SeatGeek app. Download the SeatGeek app, and you'll be able to type in that promo code at the checkout screen, and you'll get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Only if it's your first SeatGeek order. All right, you guys? So make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. And I am your Philadelphia Eagles news source.